And I will share with you that 2.5 million have been sold. It is a customer pick at 4.8 stars with 242 reviews, and 201 are perfect 5-star reviews. It is also, after 21 years, the longest running item in our history. But there are 4 really important features that I'd like to point out at the very beginning that are exclusive to Teeters. Number 1, UL listed, and we will share with you how that is so important. I know for myself, I don't want anyone in my family hanging on a table that is not. Not only that, registered with the FDA. 5, there's your FDA registration, and registered, as you can see, for back pain, sciatica, spiral degenerative joint disease, spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension, 5-year warranty, and 85% assembled. Well, today, what you are getting is not the original table that we started with years ago. You are getting the highest end table that we have ever shared with you, basically designed for clinical use, but we've taken it to the next level. We are going to give you the P2 stretcher with it as well, that right now is additionally a customer pick on our website at $44.95. So when you think of the $44.95 there, you look at the value for our birthday of $339.95, 6 flex pay payments for this hour at $56.66. And then we are shipping it to you for free. You have no more excuses. And as you take a look at the spectacular Roger Teeter, who is, of course, the creator of all this, who, by the way,
Hi, Bobby.
is, when you look, I love when Roger starts this way, because not only are you spry and helpful, you are not 40 years old, are you, Roger?
I'm double that.
Yes, he's
yeah,
80
2 months,
years old, but the fitness, your fitness level and the energy that you have is off the charts, Roger.
You know, but it sure wasn't always that way.
Yes.
And 40 years ago, I wrecked my back. And when I say wrecked, on worst days, I actually couldn't get out of bed. I had to roll onto the floor, crawl hands and knees into the shower to get hot water in my back just to be able to stand up. That went on for 5 years, and I tried everything to get relief. Nothing really worked until I was introduced to Inversion. The relief I got was temporary, but it lasted longer and was more effective than anything else I tried. And by doing it on a regular basis, I've been virtually pain-free for 37 years, and I'm still doing the things that I love to do in water skiing and snow skiing and keeping up with the grandkids, which is probably the toughest thing on the list.
Absolutely. So it does come down to quality of life, doesn't it, Roger?
Yeah, it's having mobility and flexibility. You know, I wanna bring up that FDA things once more, because that is so important. And I'm not a doctor, but I am an engineer. And there was one aspect of this that really hit me. So I want to go through that again. There's 10 different things: back pain, sciatica, spinal degenerative joint disease. That's the same as osteoarthritis, by the way. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension. And then there's another 5: herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. You know, again, I'm not a doctor, but when I look at that list as an engineer, I see one thing. You know, that those are all mechanical problems. It's your body weight on a pinched nerve. It's your body weight on a misaligned joint. It's your body weight on a herniated disc. That is a force that engineers know how to deal with. Take the force off. How about that? How about the simplest engineering thing you can do? Turn it upside down. Not only remove the force, but pull traction. So Teeter is a mechanical fix for a mechanical problem. You know, in 3 to 5 minutes a day.
Exactly.
You know, it
right,
is,
so that's an important point. It's not hours and hours, right?
No,
just a matter of minutes.
It really, short sessions are better than one long sessions. When I get up in the morning, I sleep curled up. Well, 1 minute on Inversion, my head's on top of my shoulders. Got good posture. I'm looking good. I'm out of the chute with energy. You know, before the grandkids come over, before water skiing, I invert after water skiing. Most important, immediately before bed, because that decompresses the joints and allows the body to recover more quickly overnight from the compression of the day.
So we're going to show you the animation for the decompression as well.
Right. Now this is this decompression animation you're going to see in a minute this is you inverting. You know, and when you invert, you do not need to go to full inversion. You know,
And you know, the other thing that I always love, you told me this years ago, and how I really understand the difference is when you get in the car in the morning, right? And here's your rear view mirror. And then later in the day, how you have to adjust the mirror, right? Because we don't really realize the impact of gravity on our spine.
No, absolutely. Right? In fact, we all lose 3/8 to half an inch of height in a single day.
Oh, that's depressing.
This is the animation we're talking about. Dr. Tons is going to explain that. Height loss daily, you'll be amazed. This is you inverting. You don't need to go to full inversion. Those tense, stressed out shoulder muscles are the first thing it's going to let go. And as you relax, you're going to elongate. Look at that spine straightening out. That can be a cause of pain. Look at these joints. Again, a mechanical fix. We're decompressing the joints. You got a pinched nerve, sciatica, degenerative joint disease. Take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain. It makes sense.
By the way, I want to go over the value, because we were talking about this and trying to figure this out after 21 years. But this definitely, because you're getting the highest end table ever done, hands down one of the best values we have ever had. Because even if you look right there on your screen, so you can see just the price of the table alone is actually over $400, almost $450. The customer pick additionally of the P2 back stretcher, which we'll talk about, that's $44.95. So you're looking at a $500 value, plus the fact that it's free shipping in the 5 FlexPay payments today.
Six.
Oh, six, that's
flex
right.
pays.
6 at $56, exactly. So one of the things that I think is so important for people to understand, it doesn't matter what your height is, right? And by the way, we are streaming live on Facebook, so if you have any questions at all for Roger, come on in. But this will work with what heights and what weights,
4'8" to 6'6", 300-pound maximum user limit, but that's with a 400% safety factor. This sticker here cannot be on it unless this table holds 1,200 pounds. Teeter's the only brand that meets this standard. This is a voluntary standard, but it's set by independent safety engineers. UL, Underwriters Laboratory, you've seen the stickers on lots of things. They set safety standards. We ask them to say, what does the table need to do to be safe for every user? And they gave it to us, and this is the toughest spec. Teeter's the only brand that meets it. And the CE mark, that is European home use medical, by the way. We meet every standard in Japan and all every safety standard.
And actually, we were talking about this, but for anybody looking at the infomercial, this table has, what, $200 worth of upgrades in comparison to the infomercial table that is out there. So hands down, for our 41st birthday, you're really getting the best opportunity.
I'll run through that quickly. In fact, if you want to do some homework, this is an EP970, EP970, if you want to check it out and comparative. All right, the things that set it apart from the market entry table that's on the infomercial is this EZReach handle. This is precision adjustment. It was actually built for a clinic. That's a $100 upgrade.
And what is that adjusting, Roger?
That gives you the precision.
That tight hold that you want, right?
These pads that secure your ankles, allow you to get exactly the right fit for that. These upgraded handles here, that's a $70 upgrade over the infomercial. The traction handles are a $27 upgrade. And they're really unique, because a lot of people say, I don't know if I can go to full inversion. You don't have to. In fact, you can get listen to this, you can get the benefits of full inversion without ever going beyond, say, this angle. You know, you have this strap to allow you to preset a tether, snaps on the table, and you can adjust it to stop at any angle. Let's say that's the angle you're most comfortable with. Stop at that angle, and you can use these traction handles and push on them with your arms and elongate your body as though you were in full inversion.
And use the same handles to bring yourself back up.
You can bring those up.
Because the security aspect is important. You know, one of the things that I immediately think about, I mean, the millions and millions of people in this country right now suffering from different levels and different types of back pain, and what that's like, right? You struggle to get out of bed in the morning, and how it compromises your life.
It shuts you down. You get a bad hair day, you put a hat on.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're toast. You know, it's this really changes lives. It does something that really nothing else does in the same way. Think about it. If you may be dealing with a problem in say, your lumbar area, but when you invert, not only do you deal with that problem naturally at the cause, you know, this does not cover up symptoms. virtually every other option, or virtually every option for back pain, doesn't deal with the cause, it deals with the symptoms. Your back's still screaming. You just can't hear it. Now, what good is that? You know, Teeter deals with the problem at the source naturally, and it does it in just a few minutes. So you adjust it for your height, 4'8" to 6'6". You set it for your height. And the idea is that this pivot point is such that half my body weight is on each side of the pivot point. And therefore, I can rotate it just like a seesaw.
So just with your arms.
Yeah, the weight of my arms. Now, a lot of people think, oh, this is, by the way, this is precision balancing. No other table has this kind of precision where you have this kind of control stopping it at any place. But if you think that's too sensitive for you, well, you've got these upgraded handles. You can just walk yourself back and forth. Again, you can stop yourself here, push on the traction handles. And now I don't have the tether strap on. So when I push on these handles, I actually elongate myself and become top heavy. This is one of my favorite things to do.
It's a big old rush, isn't it?
This is great energy rush. I can motor the table by elongating my body and then letting up ligaments and muscles pull me back together. But with the tether strap off, if you work up to this angle, you know, this is the magic angle where your body will lengthen 1 to 2 inches. That's a real number. And then as you mobilize that body, misalignments, postures correcting, you're getting improved flexibility, increased circulation, full inversion. You don't need to go here. But believe it or not, by actual survey of HSN invertees that regularly invert, half of them go to full inversion because you got more freedom. You know, when you have this new elongated body, all of a sudden you've got the flexibility of a much younger man. You can do crunches, you can do inverted squats, sculpt the glutes, strengthen the hamstrings. You know, when you're, oh, by the way, traction handles. Let's say you're in the lock position. There's lots of ways to get out of this. But if I have the traction handles, which are included, I can push on these, relax, and they're a push button release out of the inverted lock position.
Oh, that's
easier. So that's an extra plus. You know, but when you're over 70, in fact, I'm going to be 80 in 2 months. Can you believe that? Big awesome. 80. It's functional fitness that counts, joints that work.
Absolutely.
And when you get off the table, even if you don't, you feel you'll feel like you can and say, bring on those grandkids.
That energy rush, exactly. So I know Meredith wanted to know the weight limit. It's 300 pounds. And Vicki wants to know, can I use this table with hardware in spine?
Well, that's a doctor question.
Right, I would check with your physician.
Yeah, you'd have to check with your, but let's say there are, I think you'll find in the internet, you're going to find that is really quite a common situation. But you really, your situation's unique. You need to check with your doctor.
So, Dr. Tons, we share some time with him?
Yes, absolutely. He put me back together after a head-on collision in Mexico, so I got to know him over a 3-week period really well. And he bought 2 inversion tables. The one he used personally said helped him so much that he's recommended it to at least 30 people. And he wouldn't, you know, let's hear his story. I want you to listen to 2 things in particular. Daily height changes that you experience, your body experiences, and the fact that this is a maintenance program, not just something to deal with the problem, which it will, but the fact that it'll keep your joints supple and healthy and therefore more resistant to being injured if you do move wrong in the future. So let's listen to Dr. Tons.
Here he is.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1½". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day, too, and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives so we don't start breaking down later on.
Yeah, you know, I was also just saying to Roger that the last time that I went to the doctor, okay, I'm 5'5", I've always been 5'5". They're like, no, you're not 5'5". That is depressing, number one,
well,
but you don't realize.
No, it kind of steals your figure gravity over time. You're not going to lose height, but you bulge out in the center. You know, we've got an aging spine thing, and we'll try and fit it in. But I want to emphasize something that's so important that Dr. Tan said. These discs are fluid-filled shock absorbers. They're constantly changing fluid content. During the day, they lose moisture, you lose height. That's why your pants bulge, get tight in the afternoon. Think of your waistline as a compression wrinkle. It's internal organs. When well,
it's a great way to think about it, though. You're right.
Know? But then when you invert, you are decompressing. You will lengthen 1 to 2 inches, and those discs are encouraged to rehydrate. But besides your figure and your flexibility and shock absorption, probably the most important thing is that these discs control the size of the opening the nerves come through. So a thin disc can mean a pinched nerve, and that's sciatica. Or how about this, herniated disc? This is a blowout, where, again, the soft tissue inside the disc extrudes out and hits the nerves and ligaments. Extremely painful. Inversion is a mechanical fix. These issues wouldn't be near the trouble if it wasn't your body weight on them.
Right.
Take the weight off. Less weight means less pain.
Exactly, and it's interesting. Dusty Hall on Facebook said, what do you think of this? Think it would help us out with all pain from our backs. That's exactly why it was created, right? I mean, that's the main benefits of inversion.
Yeah, it's the decompression is the main benefit. But when you can't take the table with you, and I travel a lot, that's why we invented the P2. And that's a portable decompression device. Now, it does not do everything a table does, but it does the most important thing, and it's portable, by the way. Comes apart, fits in my suitcase or your golf cart, whatever you like, and you can take it to the office. You know, the most important thing is these pads have to go right up as high on your thigh as you can. Got it. And then these pads are, and then when you push on it.
Oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's actually
I have to have
mechanical. It's another engineering thing. This is a mechanical advantage. So
by the way, that part is $45 on our website alone, and we're getting it today with the table.
Yes, free. But the force I apply is multiplied by the lever action. Now, if you really want to have it with a little more effective, you can get down on the floor, or I do it in the bed. The last thing in the bed, I lay on the bed, put my feet on a pillow or up on a cushion on the headboard or something, and now I don't have to lift my torso, so I get a lot more aggressive decompression.
Gosh, you could even do this, like I said, even if you were in a wheelchair. I mean, you could do this seated. Yeah,
you could do this seated, absolutely.
That's phenomenal.
And then just mobilizing it like this and then cycling it, it just feels so good. It gives you that decompression break. Exactly. That is the most important part about inversion. Right, and by the way, just for everyone tuning in, because I know we only have 10 minutes, we had a question also from Michaela. Is this the older table? This is the brand new table. This is the table, by the way, that is the highest end table that was basically designed for clinical use. So this is the one that we had that we're sharing with you today, adding over $200 worth of extras in comparison to the infomercial buy. Adding also now the P2 stretcher that Roger just showed you. That's a $45 value, so you get that also today. I know that Fred had a question. He's 325, but the weight limit's 300 pounds. It is 300. The table holds 1,200 pounds, but in order to have that UL sticker on it, they insist that we limit it to 1/4 of the load that it can actually carry. Can you fold this up to store it? Oh my, yes. This is a good one, because we had that question from Michelle. Yes, you can. Yeah, and plus it comes 85% assembled. You know, you're going to spend more time getting it out of the box than you do on assembling it. And in fact, you know, with a short show, I'm not going to be able to take it apart completely, but most important, this part here with all these small parts totally assembled out of the box. The bed's totally assembled. The A-frame's totally assembled in the sense the spreader arms, the floor protectors, and the tether strap are all assembled. The only thing you have to put on are these oversized handles, 3 machine screws, and a bolt. That's it.
Right. And so many of these were extra. I mean, you paid more money for them in the past. Here's the bottom line. You know, it's our 41st birthday. If you've maybe spent time with Roger, I mentioned earlier, 21 years, longest running item here at HSN. If you've looked at it, you've thought about it, you've wanted it. Number one, here's what you want. Four of the most important features that are exclusive to Teeter: the fact that it's UL listed, the fact that it's registered with the FDA, the fact that you have a 5-year warranty, and the fact that you also have that opportunity today to get a table that is 85% assembled, that folds up, that you can put anywhere. And the bottom line is, for anybody out there, if you're suffering with back pain, right? It's right. Val came out too, because we were talking about this a little earlier.
And that's actually just the beginning. You know, it relieves back pain in 4 different ways. First of all, it takes the pressure off. Pinched nerve, sore joint, herniated disc. It stretches and relaxes paraspinal muscles. That can be a cause of back pain. If there's a misalignment, you are taking the pressure off so it can realign itself.
Right.
You know, and just the stretching and relaxing, you know, and helping the disc to rehydrate.
That's really
huge.
That's
that's a big deal. And 4 different ways, but that's just the beginning, because you got stress relief, improving circulation, flexibility, correcting
mental
posture,
attitude.
improve flexibility. A big deal when you get to be 80.
Well, it's something you look forward to doing because of the way your body feels, not only in the moment, but then the hours following afterwards. I find for me personally, it's something that I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the time to do something for myself, but then it's the time that I feel the rest of the day, I'm like, wow, I'm not having those same back pains. I'm not fidgeting or shifting, or I'm not uncomfortable when I sit. This deal, honestly, today, I mean, Roger, thank you for bringing this in for us on Fun Day Sunday. I know it's an abbreviated presentation, but I mean, you're like a legend here. You really are.
Yes, he is.
21 years. I
know. So I have a quick question for you that came from Holly. It said, I've tried Inversion in the past. The table feels really good while I'm on it. Seems like afterwards my back hurts worse. Is that normal?
Well, no, it's not normal.
Okay.
But here's what's likely to happen is that you invert, you decompress and relax, and your discs fill up with moisture.
Right.
And then if you come back and throw your weight onto that real fast.
Your body's not accustomed to it.
You're not, What you want to do, very important, that you stop halfway. After you've been inverting, stop here and stop here for a whole minute. And then very slowly put the weight back on. You know, this is a huge deal for your joints. You're not the joints that have to carry 60% of your body weight, now all of a sudden not only have that weight off, but I have 60% pulling traction. So this is a big deal for your joints, and you don't want to throw weight back on them right away.
Sure, that's the whole reason you're inverting, to relieve that pressure and that stress.
Exactly. So when I first get it at home, what do I do? How do I start?
Well, I think that, first of all, you want to use the tether strap and secure it to say at 20 degrees.
And adjust your height, right, Roger?
Yeah, you adjust it.
Your height.
Yeah, there's really 3 steps. So you adjust it for your height from 4'8" to 6'6".
Perfect.
And then you secure your ankles, and then you just relax. And I would go back starting at an angle like this. At this angle, there's tremendous stress. If you want stress relief, you don't need to go beyond this angle. You know, but you are getting circulation improvement, decompression, posture correction, all as a bonus. You know, I'd like you to work up to this angle. You'll have this grip that you'll know you're there, that you can kind of push and shove yourself back into shape. But you don't need to go to full inversion. Those are the, you know, the more the angle, the more the benefits. But really, the most important thing is never go beyond an angle that you can totally relax. It's your elongation. And by the way, don't be fooled by beds that have foam padding, because you have to slide. This is a high-tech bed with a special surface to make it low friction so that you will elongate easily. Foam bed, you sink into it and you don't slide.
Right.
You don't decompress.
And I tell you, I would address one, because Debbie's said, wow, this is expensive. You can buy them for $100 elsewhere. To that, and I'm glad you asked that, because that was why the very first thing I said in the very beginning is that there's some really important features that Teeter's had. The fact that it is UL listed.
That's
huge. The only one FDA registered. And then also the 85% assemble. Michaela wanted to know about the assembly. 85% assembled and 5-year warranty. warranty. But I want to go back to that UL listing because
there are a lot of lookalike. We sold 2.5 million units.
Many.
So with that success, there's a tremendous amount of copies. And they do look alike. But they use the wrong steel. They use the wrong steel. They use ordinary steel like a coat hanger. And you know, if you've done it, or your husband, anybody can, or you have taken a coat hanger and bend it back and forth, you can break it in less than a minute. That is a fatigue failure. My background is aircraft, and I've been educated in how to engineer out fatigue. And you cannot do it with ordinary steel. We use high carbon steels, heat treated in key components, and that runs the expense up. But it's a way we can give a 5-year warranty and total safety. In fact, these tables really, many people like Shannon and Callie have tables that are 20 years old that they're using.
Wow.
So,
wow.
They're made to
I mean,
last.
but know again that you're getting the newest, the best of the best, the highest end table, and almost already 8,300 gone here. And for our 41st birthday, definitely pulling out all of the stops. And I just think it's incredible that you can get it home for $56 on any credit card, debit card, PayPal. No interest. Free shipping. It's not like shipping a ring.
No, no, it's not.
Free shipping and handling also.
This is all steel. It is actually the highest quality, again, medical grade. Meets the standards throughout Europe as home use medical equipment. I want to get Dr. Nackimson in quick. You know, we've got football players. We got so many testimonies. We're back for an hour at 1, and we'll show you some of the sports athletes and just moms that have been using it. But Dr. Nackimson, explain